This message is for a specific person. You're somebody who used to have a lot of fire. You used to have a lot of ambition. You used to dream big and you were not afraid to go after it. But life happened. You had lots of disappointments, lots of setbacks, and you started to feel defeated by life. And you started to lower your expectations. You started to become more realistic and you stopped being excited about your life. Now you either don't know what you want or you know what you want, but you don't even believe it's possible for you anymore. And in this video, I'm going to help you reconnect with that vision because you actually didn't lose your vision. You just need a little nudge in the right direction. And I know this because 12 years ago, I was completely out of shape. I was really depressed. I was stifled creatively. I was in a dead-end job. I was in the wrong relationship. I was depressed. I was kind of sort of suicidal a little bit. I was not in a good place and I could not see a way out. Like the gap between where I was versus where I wanted to be, which is I wanted to be self-employed. I wanted to have a successful business. I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to do all these things. And I had no idea how to do all those things. It was overwhelming and I was really defeated. But within just a few years, actually, I quit my job and then immediately started traveling. And within just a few years, I was already in a business that was making multiple six figures. I spent the next 8 years traveling and living in a dozen plus countries. Along the way, I met and married the perfect partner for me, and I'm still married to this person. And I could go on and on. It didn't take what I thought it would take, And the cool thing about it is none of it happened because I had these perfect smart goals and a perfect plan, and I knew exactly how I was going to get there. It was all about having a vision and following the trail of energetic clues, the things that made me feel alive. There were clues, I was following them along the way, things were just happening. But then a few years ago, I woke up in the same spot or a similar spot. I was actually flying over the Atlantic, and all of a sudden I had this urge to go to the bathroom and start crying. And I realized at that moment that I had no idea why I was going to this place, to this country. I just didn't know what else to do. So I was like, might as well, right? So I realized I was basically falling asleep behind the steering wheel of my own life, and I needed to slap myself to wake up and get back online in my own life. And so this is the exact framework I use that I'm going to share with you right now. And I want you to treat this video like it's a session, like we're sitting together and we're doing this together right now. Don't just watch it passively. I'm going to put a worksheet in the description or in the first comment. There will be questions and I want you to do it with me as you watch this video. Here's the first thing you need to know. You're an artist. You came here on earth with one goal, one intention, and that is to express yourself, your true self. But instead, you've been setting goals like a corporation. And here's what I mean. Artists create to express something that's true about themselves. Corporations create to hit quarterly goals. So instead of setting a bunch of goals in silos, what you need is to have a vision for a world, a personal universe, if you will, where you are the main character. Goals should exist within this universe as milestones. That's the only way they would make sense to you and they would move you. You want to see yourself and your life as a work of art, as the ultimate masterpiece. But there is a problem. It's called reality. It's the job you have to go to. It's the bills you have to pay. It's the responsibilities you have to carry. It's all these things that drain you, that make you feel so depleted and so tired that you cannot, or feel like you cannot allow yourself to dream like a child. It feels like a fantasy. But when you lose touch with your personal world, your personal universe, you start to become consumed with avoiding the pain of this one. You start to focus on running away from pain and avoiding what you don't want and playing not to lose. And the result is a life where you're constantly chasing after half-assed goals that you don't even want all that much. I know you're tired. I know you're in pain. And I know you feel like your heart can't take another disappointment. But I'm here to tell you that you could spend your entire life trying to fix problems, trying to run away from what you don't want, and you still wouldn't have what you do want. So what do you want? Think of your personal universe as a tabletop with 4 pillars. And those pillars are your soul's desires. That is, what does your soul truly desire if there was no fear? Your character's story arc. How did your character get here? And who is it becoming? Your energy. What feeds your unique energy and gives you more life force? And finally, the practice, and that is the daily practice of embodying your character and building their universe. Now is the time to open that worksheet and let's get right into it. Let's define your character's true desires. Every great story starts with a character who has desires and motivations. I don't want you to worry about being reasonable or logical at this stage. This is all about dreaming like a child. So let's do this together. Get comfortable. You can sit down, you can lie down, doesn't matter, just get comfortable. And we're going to take a minute to get to a place of emotional and mental neutrality. Close your eyes, feel your body. And that means feel where your body is making contact with the surface beneath you. It could be that you're sitting on a chair, it could be that you're lying down. Feel where your feet are touching the floor if they are. And start by taking a deep belly breath. Inhale for 4 and exhale for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 6. Continue taking deep belly breaths, extending your exhale just a little bit longer than your inhale. You know you are okay. You are safe. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. I want you to fast forward to a moment in the future. It doesn't matter if it's a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. A moment in the future when you have accomplished everything you ever wanted. What does it look like? See if you can paint a picture like it's already happened. Maybe it's a business that makes a certain amount of money. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a certain body. Maybe it's a certain financial goal. Maybe it's certain achievement of any kind. And really, no guilt. Let yourself really have everything you want. Don't judge yourself for it. Take a moment to imagine that world. We're talking beyond having paid your debts, beyond having quit the job you hate, beyond all of that. We're talking everything your heart's desires has already been done. If it helps you to pause this video for a moment, if you need a moment to imagine it, to get yourself in this place, you can do that. Now, once you feel it, I want you to set a timer for just 10 minutes. And I want you to start playing with these questions that I'm going to ask you. And really play, let yourself play like you're a child. Ask yourself, from this place where everything I want is already done, from this place, who am I being? How am I showing up? What am I creating? What does my day look like from beginning to end? How do I look and feel? What is my level of mental development? Anything else you want to add? Of course, if you need to pause between these questions to take a moment, feel free to do so. But I hope you're doing these things as I'm speaking. Please don't put this off. You already know the answers. You're closer than you think. It's just that you're tired. You can't see it yet. Take a moment to do this as you're listening to me. Now, this works because once you have gone over the fear, you've fulfilled your surface level desires. What's left is your truest desires. Okay, you've achieved the thing you want. You already have the business that makes $1 gazillion. You already have the relationship. You already have the money. You already have the health. You already have the wealth. You already have the impact. You already have the creative expression. You have it all. And then from this place, what's overflowing? That's what we want to get to. Now, the second thing we're going to do is we're going to define your character's story arc. We're going to decide who you're actively becoming in the story. We're still talking about the character now. We'll get to the universe in a minute. Again, set a timer, 10 minutes, 5 minutes even should be enough. I know it may seem like this is not enough time, but I don't want you to overthink it because I promise you the answers are already there. And when you create that constraint, you're going to not overthink it. And don't worry about getting it right because, first of all, there's no getting it wrong. Second, you can always change your mind. And most likely, you will change your mind about certain things as you go. So it's okay. So set that timer and let's answer these questions. The first question is, what challenges have you overcome so far that got you here? And if it helps, you can think of it as what challenges has this character overcome so far that got them here? What interests, skills, and talents help them, you, the character, to do so? How has all of this, how has this story so far helped this character with where they're going next? And finally, what lessons has this character learned or is in the process of learning right now for the next chapters? All right, now the third pillar of this tabletop is your character's energy feeders. We're going to identify the inspirations of this character, the inspirations that are like breadcrumbs, leading you to your unique creative and spiritual path. Again, set a timer, and now I want you to write down all the things that inspire you and make you happy. I'm talking colors, sounds, smells or scents, people, characters, fictional or real, things, places, ideas, eras, anything that inspires you, anything that comes to mind. It doesn't need to make any sense at all. I'll give you an example. For me, this includes the smell of sandalwood. It includes, for whatever reason, the 1920s and the 1940s and the 50s and the 60s. It includes certain colors, specific shades, jewel tones. It includes people like Frida Kahlo, Dita Von Teese. It includes Lady Gaga. It includes Michael Jackson. It includes philosophers. It includes certain philosophies, certain ideas. It includes places, specific places like India. Went 5 times. And when I tell you breadcrumbs of desire are leading you to your creative and spiritual path, here's a perfect example. India lit me up for no reason. I just decided it inspires me. And then one day I went and I ended up going 5 times. And that was everything I didn't know I needed in that place I got from those trips, which ended up impacting my life in immense ways. So write down all the little inspirations and anything and everything. It doesn't have to make any sense. In fact, it probably isn't going to make sense. It's not going to make sense how these things connect together, but life is playing a game with you. Here is something that's probably going to sound weird to some people, and some people are going to get it. You are God cosplaying as a human being. You created this game. It's a game. It may not feel like a game sometimes, but you are part of this divine creator. You're a dream imagined, and you came here to materialize something beautiful. And you're playing peekaboo with yourself. So write down all those things that inspire you. Okay, now that you have those things written down, here comes the fun part. The practice. The practice is your character's daily rehearsal for embodiment. Your job now is to embody this character as you build this universe day by day. This is not about buying stuff or acquiring more external stuff, by the way. I come with a background of marketing, more than 17 years in the field. I know all about attaching objects to a person's identity. I don't think it's good or bad. Acquiring things can help you express an identity, but it's not about what you own or what you have. It's about who you are and what you do. And those are 2 things that are immediately available to you right now, no matter where you are in life. So every day, from the moment you wake up until you go to sleep, you're going to embody this character. You're going to think, act, speak, dress, walk, talk, hold your body, think like this person, strategize like this person, show up like this person. You're going to cosplay this person. even when, and especially when, nobody is watching. If there's a fly on the wall, that fly should attest to how in alignment you are with this person, how well you're playing this character. Think like this character has possessed your life, has come into your life, possessed your body, possessed your life, and you're wearing them as an outfit. But you're not doing it for other people, nor are you doing it for an outcome. By the way, this is not about manifestation, although that is a natural byproduct of it, but that's not the point. The point is you embody this character. I want you to keep asking the question, what would this character do throughout the day? And you're not going to immediately remember this, and it's not going to be perfect, of course. In the beginning, it's going to be glimpses and little moments here and there. But even if you do it just once a day in the beginning and you start to increase the frequency, that's okay. Here's how, more practically, we're going to use the questions that we've asked. Who am I being? How am I showing up? Start showing up at that person every day. What am I creating? Remember, what am I creating when everything is done? I'm not creating for a purpose. I already have everything I want. Life is already perfect. From this place, what am I creating? I want you to start creating like that person. Even if you feel or believe you don't have what it takes, you don't have the resources, you don't have whatever, I want you to start creating like you're that person. What does my day look like from beginning to end? Treat this like a practice, because there's a reason I called it a practice, because the practice is every day you're waking up and you're rehearsing this character. You're rehearsing this again and again. How do I look and feel? You get the idea, right? There's an imagined higher self. What does it look like? And this is not shallow, because it not only is a part of your full self-expression, but it also helps you get into this character. Every character should have a certain look and feel to them, right? And so start looking that way. And chances are this is also going to call you to elevate your nutrition, to eat better, sleep better, work out, move, because nobody imagines their higher self as an unhealthy, tired being, because that's not what your higher self is. So chances are it's going to be really good for you anyway. So do it. And then what is my level of mental development? And can you make this a practice too? Like, do you need to read more books? Do you need to enroll in certain classes to learn certain skills? Do you need more silence in your day? Do you need to meditate more? Do you need to write? Do you need to create? What do you need to do? And how can you make it a practice? And listen, it's not about big things. Again, this can be as small as 15 minutes a day. A practice of 15 minutes a day, I'm going to read a certain type of book. 15 minutes a day, I'm going to practice a certain skill. Start with that. It's better than nothing. And was there anything else you added to your list? Now, this is also where you want to turn that into a practice. And now remember the list of inspirations we talked about, the colors, the smells, the textures, the people, etc., etc. Start surrounding yourself with those things. Here's why. I want you to turn down your analytical mind when you're doing this. This is not about thinking logically. This is about turning up the volume on your inner child artist, the genius that you were born with. If a color makes you happy, see how you can introduce it into your day. If a figure inspires you for some reason, let yourself be inspired. Don't overthink this. As Ram Dass said, inspiration is God making contact with itself. Those little things, those breadcrumbs of desire, are reminding you of who you really are. The point is to start introducing these things in small ways in your day-to-day life. I know this may sound unrelated and like it doesn't make any sense. How does this relate to becoming the character and creating the life and the universe, actually, the whole world that I am envisioning? But I don't want to talk about energy because the word gets so bastardized, but I'm going to tell you this. Everything in existence has a feeling tone to it. Everything has certain characteristics which evoke a feeling in you, and a feeling is either a feeling of resonance or dissonance. And when something creates resonance in you, it literally adds more life to you. It makes you feel more energetic. It makes you feel more alive. It expands your soul. You can even feel your body open up instead of shrinking. And so the more you add those things that light you up in your daily life, even if they don't make sense, the more you're going to have brilliant creative ideas, the more you're going to feel inspired to work on, do your deep work to create something that's meaningful to you, the more you're going to think clearly. And the more your life is filled with things that drain you, whether it's people or things, whatever it is, the more that takes energy away from you. So, not to dwell too much on this point, but this is something you'll even know as you try it. Again, I'm not asking you to go buy stuff. This is not about consumption. Look at the things that you already have around you. Look at your things that are hidden under piles of stuff that you don't love. There are beautiful treasures already wherever you are that you've accumulated. but because they're covered in a pile of stuff that's not resonant, you don't really enjoy them, you don't really use them. And this is why sometimes something breaks and you're like, I should have used that more often. It's like, why haven't you used it more often? Well, because you didn't see it, because you didn't intentionally choose to make it part of your daily life. So look for the things that you already have in your life that are adding energy to you. And the things that take energy away from you, you may or may not be able to get rid of them immediately, but you can always choose 1% better. So maybe you have a job that you don't love right now that's draining your soul. Doesn't mean quit your job, immediately, overnight with no plan. That's not what I'm saying, even though I've done that before and I'm alive. Not only is everything fine, everything is great as a result. So either way, it works out. Either way, whatever you do, life works out in the end. But you can choose to do something slightly better. Can you find something better? Can you find ways to make it less painful? Can you find ways to add more joy to your life, which will counteract some of that pain, and so on? And the essence of this practice is play. Play. None of this is serious. I'm not asking you to torch your life to the ground. You can still show up for your current life as it is, but you're going to see it from a different perspective now, with this vision, with this world that you're building, this universe, and clarity about who you are. Your current life, no matter what is happening in it, you're going to see it as parts of a bigger story rather than chapters that have been added randomly or by mistake by the publishing house. You have to really enjoy playing this character for this to make sense. You have to play it for the love of the game. And like I said, at first, it's not going to feel natural to you throughout the day. You're still going to have a lot of your old patterns, so many of your old patterns still there, of course. But as you keep doing this every day, the more you rehearse this and keep coming back to this list of things. And here's another thing you can do: add images that help cement this in your subconscious. Maybe in a future video, I'll create my alchemy of self is something that I do. Actually, I've been doing it for more than 10 years. It's literally how I install the software of my character in my own head. I think that actually now I'm realizing this would be a great content piece in the future. But add some pictures. This is why people do things like vision boards and things like that. Again, this is not about manifestation or creation or what that happens automatically as a natural byproduct. But when you do it for the purpose of manifestation, it's not fun. It takes the fun away, and it distracts you from the core of this, because a lot of the manifestation conversations are about manifesting things, having outcomes, when the reality is this is about your full self-expression. This is about expressing who you came here to become. So it'll be a little wobbly in the beginning. You'll be in and out of this character, but keep practicing, keep doing this every single day in small ways. Keep practicing, and I promise you, and I don't know how to impart this piece onto you, but I need you to believe me. There will be one day when you will, in the most mundane moment, you will realize you have become this character, or that this character has become you, or you've always been one. But it'll be an incredible realization, and it's not magic, but it will feel magical. You'll look around and you'll realize that your whole life somehow magically became a reflection of this character, and you'll see your universe manifested in the physical reality, not exactly the way you imagined it, actually better. And although it feels like magic, like we're talking about something that doesn't make any sense, it actually makes complete sense when you think about it. Because when you are this person and your actions are congruent with this person, and your actions are congruent with this universe that you've designed and you set an intention to build, then it makes complete sense that your life is going to follow suit, and that you're going to start seeing that reality reflected. And when you start to see that happening in your life, you will have so much momentum, because as soon as you start seeing this is working, and even in small ways, and you keep feeding that, you keep reinforcing that, you keep telling yourself, look, this is working in this way, and this way, and this way, you'll become unstoppable, because nothing will put wind under your sails like a win. So get the worksheet that I put in the description. If you haven't been doing it, you've been really naughty. Start answering these questions. Do it right now. Please don't put this off. You already know the answers. You just have to remove the veils. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how to turn this vision and this universe into a 1-year plan. and into smaller goals or milestones that actually make sense to pursue, and then into a daily practice. And all you'll need is 90 minutes. I'll see you next time.